Good morning everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching this from. I paused there just imagining all of you saying that back to me, because it is strange trying to talk to a camera and imagining that all of you are watching it from your screens. And this is a virtual conference, the first time we are doing this in India from AnitaB.org. And let's face it, one thing that we all really enjoy is all of us coming together like a celebration, like a festival. And today in this conference, we have make sure that it's going to be immersive and unique experience so that you do not miss any of that. And I want to just pause here and ask you to reflect on one thing. While we all could be seemingly isolated, we are all more connected than ever before. And that's thanks to technology, right? And think about your contribution. You are a technologist, and how have you made this world come alive? And why Hopper India 2020 to celebrate this? We have local communities in 4 cities, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Hyderabad and Pune, where women come together fostering diverse resources, skill sets and opportunities for women in tech. We really enjoy being this close-knit community who can be in touch, keep tabs of each other and support each other. And here, because of technology and because of all the virtual connections and experiences possible, we have been able to bring all our communities together to create one experience for you. We are going to be highlighting all the local technologies, local industries, local talent, local leadership, but on a global platform that's available to all of us. So take a moment and take pride in reflecting on your contributions to technology and making this entire world function as it is today. And all of you might be thinking that you're paid up for your conference, you're sitting, you're going to enjoy this, but I'm standing here in front of you today to ask you for one more contribution before we start. You want to know what that is? What I want you to bring to the conference today and tomorrow is being in touch with your vulnerability. It might feel like a strange thing to ask given the current situation. There is uncertainty, there is fear, and I'm asking you to be vulnerable. I'll tell you why. I don't know how many of you have heard of this wise man named Mullah, Nasiruddin Mullah. There are a lot of fables about him. You can check them out on the internet. Now here is a story that even made Mullah go quiet. So Mullah was taking his night walk and he saw this guy searching for something frantically. Mullah wanted to help, so he went to him and asked, "What are you looking for?" The man said, "I lost my wallet. And it had a lot of money in it. I'm very worried. I need it back." Mullah said, "Of course, I'll help you. Did you drop it here? What time was it?" And the man said, "No, I did not drop it here. I dropped it way back at the corner of the street." And Mullah asked him, "Then why are you searching it here?" The man said, "That's because this is where the light is. It is dark over there. I don't want to go there." Right? So, why am I saying this? Because we often run away from things that make us uncomfortable. We don't stay with it. But here, I'm asking you to look at what is holding you back, what is keeping you quiet. So we go to a lot of webinars, we've done a lot this year, right? And we see that people don't really turn their videos on, ask questions, be interactive. And we see some of that in live events also, where people don't really come and open up and interact with each other. But here we have 2 days with women from all over India coming together just to learn from each other and be together in a virtual environment. So here it is all the more critical for you to be able to open and make those connections. So take a minute and ask yourselves, what is holding you back? Is it the fear that if you turn the video on, you may not look good? Or is it that if you ask something, you may sound not so intelligent? What is it? What exactly is making you go silent or not open your mouth and make that connection or ask that question? And I'm going to share you a little bit of secret. The person who's next to you is most likely having the same fears and same doubts holding them back. And when you realize that, you will realize all of us have similar restrictions, and we're assuming that the person who's standing out there and talking probably was born with some kind of confidence. That is not true. So when you realize someone else is having a similar constraint as you, that gives rise to empathy because you are able to understand where the other person is coming from. So empathy is important because it helps us overcome challenges in connecting with each other. Now, once you are in touch with your vulnerability and you're able to empathize with another person who's in the same networking zone as you, probably having similar kind of self-doubts, then you can open up and interact with certain amount of trust because you know that you are giving that opening to another person and giving them the comfort because they're probably dealing with the same questions as you are. And when you go from that, from vulnerability to empathy to trust, it opens up for authentic connections. And that is what networking is all about. It is not about what can you give me or what can I give you. It is really about building those connections. And go ask any volunteer who works with us. It is those connections that have sustained us through all these years of running these conferences and doing these programs that empower women and technology. We invite you in these next 2 days to be vulnerable and to create those authentic connections because it is time to create a new world. You know, when things started changing because of COVID-19, we all probably wished for things to go back to normal, right? We probably still think so. But what is happening is we are moving towards a new world. And in this new world, technology will play a central role. And as a technologist, your role in creating that world is more critical. So create those connections, draw those inspirations, have great new ideas when you walk out of this conference with which we can create an inclusive, balanced, economical and environment-friendly world with technology. I want to take a moment to thank all the speakers, participants, sponsors and organizations who have made this virtual event possible despite all the challenges. And boy, those challenges, we can write books on them. Now let's take a look at all those who made this event possible. Putting this together was not an easy work, and I want to thank every one of my team members in the AnitaB.org India team. See, this was our first virtual conference. Every element had to be conceived, had to be thought fresh and created. And this team has worked relentlessly on multiple parts of the conference to create it for you. And our committee members, our local community leads, they are amazing. Right? They have a full-time job, they have their families, but with so much passion and commitment, they have been working to give back to their communities by creating a team of volunteers, creating the content, working with the speakers, and just putting every piece of the experience you're going to have over the next 2 days. Thank you, my invisible team who's been working behind the scenes for this. And now, let us kickstart Hopper India 2020 on a high note with the anthem celebrating 10 years of GHCI, and let us step into the next decade with new ideas and enthusiasm. Thank you.
Here we are, standing tall and strong, 10 years, and together all along. Sharing the moments that make us proud, with feet on the ground and eyes on the cloud. Let's show the world we can touch the stars. We will win the future, make it ours. Let's show the world, let them hear us roar. The champion